Picture yourself in a flying car, cruising above the streets, avoiding traffic, and arriving at your destination in a fraction of the time it would normally take. The idea of having a flying car may seem like an incredible idea, but is it really? Flying cars have been a staple of science fiction for decades, with movies and TV shows depicting sleek, futuristic vehicles soaring through the sky, bypassing traffic, and reaching their destination in record time. It's a vision of the future that has captured our imaginations and inspired countless inventors and innovators to bring it to life. But the reality of flying cars is far from the sci-fi fantasy that we've been promised. Flying cars seem cool in movies and TV shows, but the truth is that they're just not practical for real life. Let's look at some of the challenges and problems that flying cars present. First, we have to address the elephant in the room: safety. Flying cars are complicated machines that require specialized training and expertise to operate. Flying requires significantly more skill and training than driving. Unlike traditional cars, they operate in 3 dimensions, which means that any mistake or malfunction could result in a catastrophic accident. The skies are already crowded with other types of vehicles, including commercial planes, helicopters, and drones. Introducing flying cars into the mix could result in accidents and collisions, not to mention the potential for mid-air congestion. And when accidents do happen, the consequences can be even worse. A car crash on the ground can be dangerous, but a car crash in the sky has the potential to be even more devastating, as now you have a falling car. There's no pulling over when you're in the sky, so any problem or emergency situation could be that much more dangerous. Outside of safety concerns, flying cars are an expensive and impractical mode of transportation. The cost of developing and maintaining flying cars is significantly higher than traditional cars, and that cost will likely be passed down to consumers. Some of the flying cars that are currently being produced have a price tag of around $300,000, and this is only the starting base price for the most basic models. This is significantly more expensive than traditional cars, which are just a fraction of the price. For most people, flying cars would be too expensive to own, which would make them only available to the ultra-wealthy. In addition to the purchase price, the ongoing cost of owning and maintaining these vehicles is much more than with a car. For example, fuel for these cars is more expensive than fuel for normal cars, as fueling an aircraft is more expensive. While some flying cars are electric, many of them still rely on conventional fuels, which means that you're paying for fuel every time you take to the skies. Moreover, the cost of maintenance and repairs for flying cars is also higher than that of traditional cars. The complex nature of flying cars means that they require specialized maintenance and repairs, which can be expensive and time-consuming. This means that the cost of owning a flying car is likely to be even higher than the initial purchase price. And if someone doesn't maintain their car properly, there's a risk that random car parts could fall from the sky. This is not only dangerous for people on the ground, but could also add to the anxiety of our society, as we would have to watch out for things potentially falling out of the sky. In addition to safety concerns and high costs, the weather presents a significant challenge for flying cars. Unlike traditional cars, flying cars would be subject to the effects of weather and would respond differently to wind, rain, and other weather-related conditions. This means that you would be more likely to encounter turbulence and other weather-related issues that you wouldn't on the ground. Flying cars and their drivers would have to deal with a range of weather-related challenges, including wind, rain, and even lightning. For example, high winds can make it difficult to fly, and the turbulence caused by wind gusts can make it challenging to maintain control of the vehicle. Rain and other types of precipitation can also present a challenge, as water on the wings can affect the aerodynamics of the vehicle, potentially making it difficult to fly. Flying cars would also be subject to the effects of lightning, which can pose a serious safety risk. While traditional cars are largely insulated from the effects of lightning, flying cars could be more vulnerable to strikes, which could cause damage to the vehicle and potentially put the occupants at risk. The weather can also impact the range and performance of flying cars. For example, Extreme temperatures have the potential to affect the performance of the battery or fuel system, potentially limiting the range of the vehicle. Adverse weather conditions can also impact the safety of flying cars, as the vehicle may be more susceptible to mechanical failure or other issues that could put the occupants at risk. While advances in technology help to mitigate some of these challenges, the weather is still likely to be an obstacle for flying cars and their drivers. Speaking of range, the range of many flying cars is limited right now, meaning they may not be able to travel long distances or carry a significant amount of cargo. For many people, a traditional car or public transportation may still be the best option. The practicality of flying cars is questionable. While they may be able to bypass traffic, they may not be the best solution for many people's transportation needs. Also, the infrastructure required to support a fleet of flying cars would be massive. Unlike traditional cars, which can use existing roads and highways, flying cars would require new and specialized infrastructure, including airports, runways, and air traffic control systems. This would require significant investment, and it may not be practical or cost-effective in many areas. Flying cars would also require specialized maintenance and repair facilities. Finally, the environmental impact of flying cars is a big concern. While some may be powered by electric or hybrid engines, the majority of flying cars rely on conventional fuels. These fuels produce significant amounts of greenhouse gases and other pollutants, which contribute to climate change and air pollution. Additionally, the noise pollution produced by flying cars could be a significant problem, especially in urban areas. While the idea of cruising through the skies in our own personal car seems appealing, the reality is that flying cars present more challenges than solutions right now. They would require quite a bit of regulation and oversight to ensure that they are safe and meet certain standards. This would require an investment in regulatory agencies and staff, which would only add to the cost of flying cars. These vehicles will likely end up being a toy for aviation enthusiasts who are already pilots, as the idea of anyone being able to drive a flying car seems dangerous. Safety concerns, costs, environmental impact, and practicality all make flying cars an impractical and dangerous mode of transportation. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments, and make sure to check out our next video on the flying cars that are currently in production and available for pre-order right now. If you like these kinds of videos, make sure to give us a thumbs up so we know to make more. Thanks for watching.